Hello and welcome to Soul in Balance, and in this video we will be going over Monday's cards. Alrighty, so how was everybody's weekend? Hope it was better than mine. So the 15th of October is quite fast coming up in Melbourne. That is the cutoff where most people lose their jobs if they don't get the thing. Now my sister's affected as well, so she can't continue her final year of studying to be a chiropractor unless she gets the whatever it is. And I can't work in the clinic that I work at, and it's just it's just a really sad time in the world, especially for people in Melbourne. I just think a lot of people are really scared right now and don't know what to do. And then another disappointing thing, I think I mentioned last week, I ordered a vacuum cleaner because mine stopped working. Like literally my lights blew in the house, my phone cord stopped working, and my vacuum cleaner stopped working, like all within like 24 hours. And I ordered a vacuum and it finally arrived today, and oh my God, it is terrible. It's just like, seriously, like, can I catch a break? Oh my God, things are just like outrageous in the world. Alrighty, so we have, for today's reading, we have Observer. We have Fellow Traveler, support is all around you. And we have Raven, darkness looms on the horizon. Well, ain't that the truth? And for the herb of the day, we have Chamomile. Alrighty, so from the top, Observer. This is about taking an observer role. When we are feeling so caged in and so depleted and so hopeless, and maybe in very being subjective to our situations, it's very hard to be objective. It's very hard to see what we do have. It's very hard to see that there's any hope, and a lot of times it's really good to be the observer, to take a bird's eye view and look at things from a different perspective. And I know for people in Melbourne, especially Australia, and I guess all over the world too, that it's very hard to do that. We're affected in all avenues. We can't leave our homes. We can only go 5-kilometer radius. We have a curfew, so we have to be home at 9 a.m. We're only allowed to go to the doctors or to buy food. And it's been like this for, nearly 2 years. And now people are, not going to have jobs and not going to have money. So it's very easy to feel like you're trapped and you want to escape, and, you're sick of this Groundhog Day, and, you just want to be able to get out, and you can't see any hope in the future. And I feel like the best thing to do is just to observe, is to take yourself out of the situation. Observe the emotions that come through, observe the thoughts and the thinking, observe these interactions, observe what's going on. Don't necessarily just go straight into it and straight into fear and panic and, just needing to escape and not being able to cope, which, we're all doing collectively, and we have a bloody good reason to as well. But as much as you can, be the observer. Be the person that's, being that bird and watching what's going on. Try and pull your emotions out of it. Try and pull your fear out. And I know it's hard. We're all in the thick of it here. So, as much as you can, just try to observe what's going on for you. And if you're not in Melbourne and, whatever situations you're going through in life, just be the observer. Just watch what's going on. You don't have to react or interact. You can just simply just watch and decide what you like to do about things at a later stage. Now, we also have Fellow Travelers, support is all around you. Now, especially if you're in Melbourne, which I gotta bang on about all the time these days, it can feel like we're not supported, you know, because we are stuck in our homes. We can't talk to people. We're not allowed to post anything on Facebook. We're not allowed to have community groups to talk about these things. We are just completely alone. And oh, hey Greg, how you going? And yes, so it can feel like we have no support. There's no one to talk to. There's no one listening. We can't change anything. You know, our voices aren't heard. Like, you know, that people in power are just allowed to keep doing what they're doing, and there's no repercussions. There's no opposition. There's no nothing. So, you know, it can feel like we have no support and we're alone, but we are not alone. Like, we are all in this together, even though we feel like we're really separate and alone. And not even to mention that at the end of the day, this is all just a simulation. It's all just a play. It's all just another life that we experience, and then we come out of this life and then we go to another one, you know? So as best as you can, like with the previous card, which is be the observer, and know that support is all around you. And at the end of the day, this is just a play. And all you need to do is just be the best version of yourself, and to show up every day in this collective unconscious shitstorm that we're all going through, you know? Like, even if you were just to wake up every day and try, that is the most beautiful and most successful thing you could ever do at this time. And just to hold this energy on the planet that, hey, there is hope. And that is the best job anyone could ever do at this time. We've also got Raven, darkness looms on the horizon. There's more to come. And you know what? Like, astrologically, we all knew like this was going to be a difficult month. You know, October is, you know, a very testing month, and maybe into November as well. But yeah, it's just, I think things are going to get harder. You know, like, we're at a state where we need people to wake up. Things need to get increasingly harder for these other people to wake up. You know, and we might all know what's going on, but these other people, they might need that little bit more evidence that there's something wrong. There's something wrong in our society, and this isn't how it's meant to be. And, you know, a lot of sensitive souls and a lot of people that have been, you know, quite traumatized throughout life, maybe didn't have the best kind of parenting, maybe were on the other side of the law, know that there's a lot of corruption in the world, have always known that things don't make sense, especially people that are super sensitive. This 3D reality just never really made much sense. So they were always aware of what wasn't right. So, you know, those of us, myself included, need to give these other people time to understand what's really going on. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people that are on the other side of the fence, they know that something isn't right. They know, but they just don't want to see it because they don't want to give up faith either. They don't want to give up hope in what's right too. So at the end of the day, we still need to give everybody that opportunity to really see what's going on. And that does mean things are going to get a little bit more darker. You know, there is more darkness on the horizon. But ultimately, we can get through this, you know, like we all aren't here at this time if we can't get through this situation. What was that, Craig? The planets in Libra are going to square off to Pluto and Capricorn. So yeah, October's going to be interesting. True that. And just adding to that, that's my Pluto square transit Pluto as well. So it's just like, oh. Love and life. But yeah, like, you know, things are going to get harder, but we are all here because we are strong enough to deal with this. We are going to be able to get through this time, but just know that things are going to get harder. And you know, the best way to maybe handle this is to just be the observer, just to observe what's going on and try and take our emotions out of it, and just understand that we are dealing with this collective unconscious toxicness that needs to be witnessed. And the best thing that we can do is just to hold that energy of hope and faith that things are going to be better. Now sorry, that wasn't a great message. I always do try and be like positive in my messages, but today, oh God. And then we have the moon in Sagittarius, and I think by tomorrow it will be in Capricorn. So that's more like restrictions and rules and blocks and more just somber, detached coldness. Love it. Anywho, so card for today is Chamomile. And we also have the Ace of Swords. Now, I don't know if any of you guys know what the Ace of Swords is. Maybe you do. But it's about starting a new direction. And it's also the swords. The sword is a sword of truth. So it can mean just cutting the crap. Like, the swords in their element, if you have a look at their cards, they're quite frightening. Like, we have the 10 of Swords with somebody that has all swords in their back. We have the 3 of Swords that is like a heart with 3 swords in it. So a lot of the swords cards are frightening, but the thing is, we do need this sword element to do that stuff we don't like, to cut the crap, to make changes, to, you know, like really move into the right direction, because sometimes we have attachments and patterns that we get stuck in a rut with, and sometimes we can't get out of that. Sometimes we need a sword, like the sword of truth, to cut us out of those things and have these shitty experiences so we actually move in the right direction. And that's the sword as an element. But the Ace of Swords represents a new direction, a new idea. It could be new education, something like that, but it's very about mental, maybe a new spiritual process, maybe, because it also represents spirituality, the sword. So yes, but anyway, with chamomile is a very calming herb. So a lot of people will drink chamomile at night if they can't sleep or if they're anxious. And chamomile, there is two, like we have the Roman chamomile and we also have the German chamomile. So the German chamomile is what we mainly use. It is a lot sweeter than the Roman, but they both do the same thing. And chamomile is really great for kids. So it might be calming for adults. It might take us down a notch from some like mental exhaustion or anxiety. But for kids, it's just really great for sleeping and just calming them right down. Like we even see chamomile in teething products as well. And chamomile is really good for like indigestion. So if you've got bloating and things like that, when it's really strong, it's really good for like liver and kidneys and that as well. So chamomile is just very calming. Chamomile is something that we can grow in our backyard. It comes from the daisy family. So yeah, if you're interested in all that type of stuff, go get yourself some chamomile, or maybe you have some growing in your backyard. And we use the flower for chamomile. We don't use the leaves or the roots or anything. We just use the flower and we dry it out and we put it in teas, or we put it in capsules or formulas and things like that. So chamomile is just a very beautiful, versatile little flower that is actually really perfect for kids. Like if you have kids that just can't relax or go to sleep at night, you know, just say their bedtime 7:30, at 7 o'clock at night, you make them maybe some chamomile tea, make something really special, get them a cute little cup that they love so they feel, you know, like happy to drink their special chamomile. And then when it comes to bedtime, with a bit of luck, they'll just go straight to sleep. But yeah, anyway, that's it, guys. I don't know if you have any questions. Hey, Angela. Hey, Jessica. But yes, so that's pretty much it, what's going on. I hope everybody is surviving in the world, especially Melbourne. Things are pretty tough right now. I know that I am struggling really bad at the moment, but I always try and have faith that things are going to get better. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a great Monday. Do something productive. Don't forget to be the observer. And observe what's going on. Try not to get too bogged down in what's going on. I know it feels like Groundhog Day. I know it feels like we're in a prison and we can't escape. Like there's no way to get out of this shit show. But just the best you can, be the observer and know that you are supported. There are people out there that understand you and are on the same side as you and feel the same way as you. And we are all together. And just to reach out to the people that that you know feel the same way as you. Okay, guys, well, that's it for me. Have a great Monday, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.